So let me start recording that lesson as well. Yes. So what we are going to do is, remember, you guys actually remember that we made an animation last week in which the cat was trying to catch the mouse, or cat was chasing the mouse. So we will figure out that how does the cat catches the mouse and what happens when the cat catches the mouse. Obviously, we would say that the mouse would be hidden. So mouse would hide after the cat has caught the mouse. So let's open that animation. I hope that I had saved it. I remember saving it. So I will just open that animation and we'll start working on the same animation, and we'll try to just add more events to that to make it look more kind of interesting. So kind of opening Scratch. It's loading. Yes, it has already loaded. So now I will open the animation. See, this process is kind of very interesting for you, for very important for you to learn that how do you load the files that you have already saved in your computer. I hope that you guys had saved your cat chasing mouse application. So today we are going to
No,
just,
I hadn't.
okay.
I was making it that my brother came and shut the computer down. He's very naughty,
Oh,
so now
that's
it's not.
okay, okay, okay. So I hope that you can do that same thing again. You can practice that. You can just make it again if you want. So I'll show you today how do we load something that we have already saved. So this is the file button over here. It will help you to save the work that you are currently doing. It will help you to load the things that you have already saved, and it would help you to open a new project. So there are three things that you can do in this file button. If you click on this file button, it would allow you to do three things. First, create a new project. It will help you to load a project that you have already saved in your computer. It would help you to save a project in your computer. So we are going to load from our computer. And similarly, if you see this edit button, it just gives you the turn on. It just allows you to turn on or turn off the turbo mode, which hardly makes any difference if the turbo mode is turned on. Still, it works almost the same way. If you have it turned off, it almost works the same way. There's just a few more additions that are added to it if you have turned on the turbo mode. So it's not kind of an important thing for us. And this option here allows you to select language of your choice, but you do not have Urdu in here. You have many other languages, but you can, if you are not comfortable in English and you want to see everything in Arabic, you would see that it can be changed. So you can change it as per your own understanding. Which language you understand better, you can just do it that way. But as I do not understand any other languages, I would have to rely on English. So that's why I'm using English. Okay. So Zayam has also joined in. Now joining. So maybe he's having kind of an Assalamu alaikum Zayam, क्या हाल है आपका? चलिए, he would join in, no problem with that. So we try to load the file now. So what you need to do is click on load from your computer, and it would take you to that folder where you have been saving. वालेकुम अस्सलाम ज़ियाम, क्या हाल है आपका? अच्छा, आज हम पता है क्या कर रहे हैं? आज हम कर रहे हैं जो हमने लास्ट एनिमेशन बनाई थी ना कैट एंड माउस की, आज हम उसको थोड़ा सा और रिफाइन करेंगे। रिफाइन करने का मतलब ये कि थोड़ा सा और कुछ चेंजेस उसमें करेंगे जिससे कि वो एनिमेशन जरा थोड़ी सी ज्यादा यू कैन से कि बेटर हो जाएगी। तो हम लोग जा रहे हैं, पहले देख रहे हैं कि किस तरह हम लोग पुरानी सेव की हुई फाइल को, अगर आपने पहले कोई फाइल सेव की है काम करते हुए, जिस तरह ये कैट एनिमेशन वाली थी, कैट चेजिंग द माउस, इसको हमने पहले सेव किया हुआ है। तो मैं उसी वाली फाइल को खोलना चाह रहा हूँ ताकि मैं उसी में चेंजेस करूँ। सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज गो टू फाइल एंड क्लिक ऑन लोड फ्रॉम योर कंप्यूटर। दिस विल डायरेक्टली टेक यू टू द डायरेक्टरी जहाँ पे आपने ज़्यादातर अपनी फाइल्स रखी हुई हैं। ठीक है, स्क्रैच की काम करने की लास्ट आपकी जो भी सेव डायरेक्टरी थी यहाँ पे होगी। तो ये है स्क्रैच प्रोजेक्ट कैट एंड माउस जो हम लोगों ने लास्ट बनाया था। मैं इसे ओपन कर लेता हूँ और इसे एक बार चला के देख लेते हैं। ठीक है, वर्किंग फाइन। बट वी आर गोइंग टू फिगर आउट कि हम किस तरह इस एनिमेशन को ऐसा बना सकते हैं कि ये कैट जो है वो माउस को कैच करे, तो उससे कुछ डिफरेंस हमें पता चले। कैच करने का मतलब ये कि अगर कैट माउस को कैट माउस को अगर टच कर ले, तो उसका मतलब है कि उसने कैच कर लिया। तो वो इवेंट हमारा गुजर चुका है जहाँ पे इसने इसको कैच किया था, तो हम इसको थोड़ा सा रीप्रोग्राम करते हैं। So your animation is kind of working perfectly fine. All you need to do now is add more events to that and add more details in it. अच्छा जी, currently your object is working fine. तो आज हम लोग सीखेंगे how does the if block works. ठीक है, working on the if block. So in this controls option you have this if block. इस if block का मतलब होता है decision लेना. This if block helps you to take decisions. So you are going to check a condition. ये जो आपको दरम्यान में you see this hexagon or the diamond kind of a shape. This basically would hold a condition, ठीक है, and you are going to check that condition. If that condition is met, तो फिर हम उसके against कोई action call कर सकते हैं कि अगर ये काम हो, which is written here, then this thing can happen. For example, अभी ये देखें कि मैं माउस को कैट के पास लेके आता हूँ, इसका मतलब कि अभी अगर आप देखेंगे तो माउस और कैट दोनों क्या एक दूसरे को टच कर रहे हैं। तो आई वांट टू चेक दिस कंडीशन। ये कंडीशंस आमतौर पे चेक करने के लिए व्हाट वी हैव टू डू इज रिलाई टू द सेंसिंग पार्ट। दिस सेंसिंग पार्ट अलाउज अस कि हम कुछ डिफरेंट चीज़ों को चेक करें। लाइक हम चेक कर सकते हैं कि हमारा ऑब्जेक्ट किसी चीज़ को टच कर रहा है, हम ये चेक करें कि हमारा ऑब्जेक्ट किसी कलर को टच कर रहा है, हम ये चेक कर सकते हैं कि कोई बटन प्रेस किया जा रहा है। ठीक है, ये बहुत सारे डिफरेंट काम हैं जो हम लोग सेंसिंग के अंदर कर सकते हैं। ये 3 बेसिक काम है दैट वी वुड बी यूजिंग मोर फ्रीक्वेंटली। Okay, so today we are going to work on this one, touching object. So this drop down list holds the objects that you are using. Like you are using currently the cat, तो cat की option इसमें show नहीं हो रही। उसके अलावा जितने events हैं वो सारे show हो रहे हैं। Edge का event show हो रहा है, mouse का event show हो रहा है, mouse object show हो रहा है, edge object show हो रहा है, और mouse pointer show हो रहा है। ठीक है, अगर इसे मैं mouse pointer पे रखता हूँ और मैं इस condition को check करता हूँ, ठीक है, ये देखें, ये मुझे कहता है कि फॉल्स। इसका मतलब है कि अभी ये टच नहीं कर रहा। इफ आई गो टू माउस वन एंड आई क्लिक ऑन दिस वन, इट चेक्स एंड टेल्स मी इफ दिस इज ट्रू और नॉट। सो इफ दिस इज ट्रू, what should happen? We would say that the mouse should hide. So we would actually have to code it in the mouse section कि माउस को हमें हाइड करवाना है, हमें कैट को हाइड नहीं करवाना। तो हम माउस को हाइड करवाना चाह रहे हैं, तो हम माउस के उसमें चले जाएंगे, माउस के इवेंट में जाके बोलेंगे, इसी तरह से कंट्रोल इवेंट लेंगे इफ देन का, और उस पर सेंस करेंगे। सेंस हम ये करेंगे कि इफ द माउस इज टचिंग द कैट, इफ द माउस इज टचिंग द कैट, ठीक है, आप इसका नाम चेक कर सकते हैं, क्या नाम है, कैट 2। तो इसी वजह से माउस के कोड में भी क्या नाम आ रहा है, कैट 2 आ रहा है। अगर ये ट्रू है, करंटली दिस इज ट्रू, इफ दिस इज ट्रू व्हाट शुड हैपन, वी वुड से दैट वी वांट कि हमारा माउस हाइड हो जाए। तो इस माउस के लुक्स में जाके देयर इज अ बटन व्हिच सेज हाइड, यू आर गोइंग टू ऐड दिस बटन हियर, और इसको you want this condition to be checked like when, once or always? You want this condition to be checked always. So that is why we would put this here in the forever loop, so that it always keeps on checking if the mouse has touched the cat. So if the mouse had touched the cat, it would allow it to hide. So let's run the program, and you would see that the mouse is now moving, the cat is now moving, and as soon as there is an instant, then when mouse would touch the cat, the mouse is going to hide. I guess that now would be that event. No, we would have to wait a little more. So they are kind of randomly moving anywhere on the screen. And if by any instance they would touch each other, which would happen maybe now. Yes. So you could see that the mouse has already hidden. Mouse has already gone, like it's gone. So what can we do with that after this? So if this happens, we would want the animation to either stop or we would want a new mouse to be added somewhere. अभी हमारा ये काम है कि हम mouse को hide करवा लें, but ये cat move करती रहेगी. Why the cat is moving? Because कोई ऐसी command नहीं गई कि बस अब cat को रुक जाना चाहिए. अगर हम logically बात करें, we are talking logically. See, Zayan, Qasim और Zayan, tell me, अगर the application was about cat chasing a mouse and it has already caught the mouse, so shouldn't the cat actually stop now?
It should.
It should, but it is not stopping. It keeps on moving. So it means that we can make some changes in the code that would make this cat to stop. And the only event that should stop this cat is that when mouse has been caught by the cat. So this is the event that describes that mouse had been caught. So this event says that the mouse had been caught. If I would just check it now, it would say false because it can't just catch the mouse again. So what can I do is that I can just keep it where it was earlier and then just tell my program to stop everything. So this way the mouse would also stop. You can see that the mouse is still moving. It is just hidden, right? It is just hidden. Otherwise, it's moving right now. You can see that the mouse is changing its costumes continuously, which means that the mouse is moving kind of. So cat is also moving. So we can make them stop. We can make them stop by using a control command, just like the control command we use for if, wait, and forever. In the control section, there is another command. Now, when I press this after removing this forever, you can see that the mouse has already stopped. So there is a control command that can help us to do that. And that control command is available in controls. And this command simply says stop all. You can just add it here and you can ask it to stop all, or you can stop other scripts or this script. I would say that stop everything. Okay, stop everything. So now we would just stop it and run it once again. But do you see the mouse coming back on screen? Do you see the mouse is there? No, mouse is not here because we had given a command earlier. Qasim, can you tell us that why the mouse is not here now? Any guess? See, we use this command which says hide. So which has made the mouse hidden. Okay. So if I start it now, you would see that the mouse has started moving in here and here. It would explain you that it has started moving, but you can't see it. Why you can't see it? Because it has been hidden, right? So what we can do is similarly that we hide the mouse. We can also make the mouse show on screen also. Okay. So we can make the mouse show on screen again. And to show something on screen again, what you need to do is go to that object, select that object, go to its looks, and there is a show button. Now, when would you want the mouse to show up?
When the flag will be clicked.
When the flag will be clicked. So you have to just place it under the when flag clicked. And now, see when you would press the mouse flag button again, you would see that the mouse reappears. And when it gets caught by the cat, it just hides. As simply as that. So this way, your application or animation starts working where the cat is trying to chase down a mouse. And once it catches that mouse, the mouse gets hidden and the cat stops. So you have used that code here, which says stop all. So that would basically mean that, yes, now you can see that the cat is kind of stopped. Cat is not moving further. So this animation completes this way. It is a very simple animation. We do not have a lot of these things in it. So now once you will press the flag button again, you would see the cat would start moving because the cat has been coded in that way that it should start moving. Once the flag is clicked, I have to leave at 6:10 due to worry. Yeah, we would be free before 6, I guess. will be free by 6. Okay. So this way the cat starts moving, and this way the mouse also starts moving. And the mouse and cat, they both stop when the mouse touches the cat, and also the cat uh, stops when the mouse has been caught by the cat. So there is no purpose for the cat to keep moving. So that is how this is kind of working, right? Okay, so now let's try to make another additional change in that. And that additional change is that you uh, instead of having the fixed position for your objects to start, like cat is starting at a fixed position, starting at a fixed direction, mouse is also starting at a fixed position and a fixed direction. So every time you are going to press flag, they are going to start from the same point. See, I am continuously pressing flag and they are starting from the same point. In this lesson, we are also going to understand and learn how can we make them just go to random places instead of being at the same point, right? So we would do that also. So in order to make it random, you have this green button over here, which says operators. Okay. So the heading of this button is operators. This operators basically helps us to see what operations can be done. Picking a random value is kind of also an operation that our code has to do. So we would suggest that instead of having the fixed values here, we can have a sort of a random position where the cat starts. So instead of picking this up, which says go to XY, there are two ways we can do this. First way is that we go to operators and say pick random and place it in the X block and place it in the Y block also. This way, instead of fixing one position for the cat, we can just ask this character to start anywhere it wants. Now let's see that what are the positions that we have here. So in order to understand that, we would have to change the backdrop to this backdrop, which says XY plane, XY grid, this one. So you can currently see the possible XY values for your characters. If I go to cat and if I see its position right now is -100 and -52. And if I go to the mouse, you would see that its position is -19 for X and 42 for Y. The maximum position for Y that is available is 180. The minimum position that is available for Y is -180. Y is the position on this vertical line. This vertical line, any line parallel to this. So Y is the position that makes your objects go up or down. You can see this by focusing here on its Y position when I place the mouse somewhere else. So down you go, you see the Y value decreasing, and up you go, you see the Y value increasing. And if I cross this orange line, under this orange line, the Y value is in minus. Over this orange line, the Y value is in plus or simple without any negative sign in that. So above this orange line, your Y value is positive. Below your orange line, the Y value is negative. Similarly, for this cat also, you can also observe that. If I put the cat somewhere here, its Y position is -161. And if I take it, let's say here, its Y position is 131, which is increasing. So you can have a value, if you want to have a random value, you can select it for this kind of thing. But it can be anything for Y -180 to 180. And if you want to see that how the X value changes, try to cross your object through this, what do we call it? Blue line. So here X value, if you can see for this cat is -178. And if I take it ahead of that blue line, अगर इसे मैं blue line से आगे ले जाऊंगा, so the X value is going to become positive. On the left side of the blue line, the X value is negative. On the right side of the blue line, the X value is positive. So every position that you see here, X and Y value is different. On this position, X and Y value is different. On this position, X and Y value is different. Here, the X and Y value is different. So we want that a random value is selected. By selecting a random value, what we mean is that any kind of different value can be taken for that. So that is why we want to use this random variable. That is why I have used random operator, which is pick random. So for X value, I would say we have this value. What is the minimum value of X? Okay, who can tell me the minimum value of X here? ज़याम, आपको इस टेबल के ऊपर, इस स्क्रीन के ऊपर X की सबसे छोटी वैल्यू क्या नजर आ रही है? My question is from Ziam.
240.
जी 240 माइनस 240 सबसे छोटी वैल्यू क्या है? माइनस 240 और सबसे बड़ी वैल्यू क्या है? कासिम, कैन यू टेल मी द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू फॉर एक्स? Maybe you would want to, now you guys can tell me. Kasim, can you tell me the maximum value of x on this grid?
$240.
240. And similarly, Zayan, you can tell me the minimum and maximum values for y.
Yes. Minimum will be minus 180 and maximum will be 180.
Yes. So these are the values. So you can put these values here to pick random values out of these values. So you can say that the value for x that I want is, if you want to make it completely random, that if you want to just start it anywhere on the screen. So x value can be from minus 240 to 240. You can say minus 240 to 240. And for y, you can say that the random value, if I want to pick it anywhere, can be minus 180 to 180. Remember that the first value should be the smaller one and the second value should be the larger one. So now you would see that this mouse does not stay at one position. It starts randomly anywhere that I want it. And it's actually not according to my choice. It's actually being selected randomly. It's starting randomly from anywhere. Another important thing for you to understand here is the point in direction form. So this point in direction block helps your character to point in a certain direction. Maybe let's say that we want this direction to be random also. Sometimes we want to start it like this. Maybe sometimes we want to start it like this. So this is kind of an interesting thing that we can do here as well. So when we say that we need to point in a direction, we can also say that we want to point in a random direction. So we would say pick random and put it here, and then just enter a suitable value. The angles in this kind of plane, what we have is the minimum angle is 0 and the maximum angle that we have is 360. So you can say that we can start from 0 degrees and we can go till 360 degrees. Now, once you would see this, you would see that the mouse starts at a random position, has a random direction. Currently, it's facing towards this side. Now it's facing towards another side. Now it is facing towards another side and is also at a different position. So this can help us to randomize our character's angle also. So why don't we try the same thing with the cat also? But for the cat, we are going to use a different code chunk so that I can explain that to you. As I told you that there are two methods to pick a random value. So this is the first method that we can use to pick the random value. And this is kind of a precise random according to your choices. And then there is an overall random that you can pick up. And that can be done here through motions block. So if I separate this and see these two values, I would say that I want to go to a random position. So I will just not use this go to XY position block. I would use this go to random position block. It can help me to go to different positions, but a random position is kind of suggested. Similarly, you have this point towards block also, and it can help you to point in a direction of mouse, or you can help it to point in the direction of the mouse pointer. So you say that we should point towards the mouse when the game starts. So let's just figure this out like that and start doing it. So now let's see the mouse code also and attach this block here. So this mouse sets its position randomly, it sets its direction randomly also, whereas this cat also sets its position randomly and is always looking towards the mouse. See, face of the cat is towards the mouse. Click it again. Now it is on a different position and the face of the mouse cat is again towards the mouse. Now again, the same cat facing towards the same mouse and at a different position. Same can be done on different positions just by clicking this when flag clicked event. So now if I attach this forever loop with that and this forever loop with that, and now if I press the flag button, you would see the two characters would be there and they are just starting off randomly, just like that. So the mouse was caught, fine. Caught. And now it's going to take a little longer. Okay, now what we do is after the mouse has caught one mouse, we are going to change its condition. We are going to ask it to bring in another mouse. Okay, so currently your code is suggesting that if something like this happens, that the cat catches the mouse is going to hide and the cat is going to stop. So this is what is happening right now. But let's just say that if we want that when one mouse gets caught, there should be a new mouse that is added onto the screen. We can also do that. We can do that simply by making some changes in this mouse's code where it says if touching cat, hide and stop all. So we will just not use them now, but instead what we are going to use is a different code that will help us to bring this mouse back to the action. And these are the things that make us do that, these ones. So I would just duplicate this code. And instead of asking my mouse to hide and asking the cat to stop, I would just ask the mouse to start somewhere else. Okay. So that is what is going to be added now inside this forever loop in this through this if block. So now when we do this and I start it, you would see something different. If the mouse is caught by the cat, see the mouse starts at some different place. Okay. We can kind of make this a little more interesting by asking our mouse to wait for some time, okay, before it reappears on screen. It would look more clean, more smooth. So you will go to controls block here and ask your mouse to wait for, let's say, 0.5 seconds. after reaching this position and restarting its movement. So now let's check that how it works. Just if the mouse is caught, yes. Now you can see that the mouse reappears after some time. So what we can do is add this 0.5 seconds wait before that, and you would see that the mouse is caught. It's kind of very much. So let's make it smaller by making it 0.1. So if your mouse is caught by the cat, in this case, your character is going to wait 0.1 seconds, and after that 0.1 seconds is going to reappear on a different position and facing towards a different direction, and it's kind of getting longer. Now it's looking like a little more smooth. Yes. Okay. So this has been done now. Now we do the last thing of our today's lesson. Let's try to keep a track record of how many mouses has this cat actually caught. Okay. So what we are going to do is first I would delete this backdrop because I don't need to use it, and I'm going to use this one. And now I am going to keep a track record of how many mouses has this cat actually caught. So for that, I am going to bring up a variable here. So this is the first time that we are using the variable. Variables help us to track record of certain things, and variables are generally used in games. Variables help you to like keep a track of the score of the game. So similarly, we are going to check that how many mouses has this cat actually caught. So for that, we are going to introduce a variable here, and that variable we can just click on make a variable and write its name. So I would say mouses, that's mice basically, mice caught. Click on OK. Currently it says that mice caught is 0, but we can identify that we need to add 1 score every time a mouse is caught. So we would say that to the mouse, in this if condition, if mouse touches the cat, we would say change mouse caught by 1. And similarly, set mouse caught to 0 whenever you start the game new. So this is score is 1. And now the score is going to be like 2 when the mouse is caught. Yes, it's 2. And similarly, you can keep track of it. I hope that you guys understood everything in this lesson, right? Zian, Ziam, Ziam, अगर किसी चीज की नहीं समझ आती तो पूछ लिया करें बेटे, तो मैं आराम आराम से वैसे समझा रहा हूँ. Qasim, have you got this? So let's show you how to save it also. You can click on this file button here and then click on save to your computer. And then you can just simply click on the save button. It asks you if you want to just already rewrite the file. Click yes here and your work is done. Thank you so much for joining in today, everyone. Take care. Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.
If there is anything that you guys don't understand, just try to send a message in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Allah Hafiz.
Listen to him first. Then answer. He's saying that if you don't understand, ask him. And you're saying, Allah Hafiz, Allah Hafiz, Allah Hafiz. That's not good.